Hello, everybody, and today we are going to be looking at cultural communication styles. These styles have a lot to do with where we were raised, how we were raised, and what our cultural background is. So hopefully you've taken the self-assessment that's in this module that helps determine your conflict style. If you disagree with it, that's fine. Just think about how you communicate. And a lot of different self-assessments name the styles differently. However, there's really only 4 styles. So for today, we'll be calling them an action or discussion style, a people or an engagement communication style, a process or accommodation style, and then an idea or a dynamic kind of storytelling style. To make this more clear, let's look at each one individually. The action or discussion style is characterized by primarily unemotional communication, and this can be seen as assertive because it's about rational thoughts and facts. It's practical, outcome-oriented, and very brief. Often people with this communication style let you know exactly where you stand in their opinion. People with this style tend to not mince words and are very direct. The engagement style is really focused on people, and that means that they are direct but really emotionally expressive when they communicate. This can be perceived as aggressive as well because these people who communicate this way expect and want intense emotion, verbally and non-verbally, and they value teamwork, cooperation, and relationships. People who communicate this way are often very comfortable with conflict or confrontation because they're interested in people and they accept emotions and they accept passion and they want people to express themselves that way. If people aren't using passion, these communicators often feel like the other people aren't invested in what's going on. The accommodation style is focused on process and characterized by indirect communication, which means that they are not explaining exactly what they want and they're leaving emotions out of it. Because of this, it can be seen as passive. The reason it can be seen as passive by others is that they are interested in maintaining harmony. So, although they want logic and detail in their communication, they are cautious about communicating what they actually need or what they actually want. Instead, this communication style often relies on using metaphors to explain how they're feeling or what they're experiencing, or they'll go to a third party and have the third party try to mediate or facilitate a discussion. The fourth communication style is very dynamic and it's focused on ideas. This communication style is indirect and uses a lot of emotion when expressing themselves. Stories, feelings, and relationships are used to get the other person to buy into what they're saying. People with this communication style can be very imaginative and they can be provoked or provocative about issues. They express themselves through emotional stories and expect others to show similar passion during discussions in order to give their statements credibility. Let's look at a scene that shows each communication style with people who are working in a group project. The action or discussion communication style might have looked at everybody's skills, know what they're best at, and have an idea about how the project would go forward, and they would say that directly. The engagement style would bring a lot of emotion to the table, be really happy to be working in a group project, and they would be very ready to tell everybody what to do. The dynamic communicator might use their past experience or that of their friends to suggest a direction forward. Meanwhile, the accommodator might sit back, wonder what was actually going on, be a little bit uncomfortable, but want to wait to see how things played out. Now that we've looked at each style individually, the question is, well, what influences them? So let's look at some of those influences. Our communication style has many different influences. For instance, culture, conflict style, power, experiences, gender identity, environment, emotional intelligence, and family, and many more. Yet, these are the ones that we'll focus on today. Well, we're discussing cultural communication styles, and so our culture is really made up of a lot of the experiences that we have when we're young and a lot of the influences that we have. And so, when we're looking at the following influences, we're going to look at them in a cultural sense. One of the significant influences on the way that we communicate is how our family experience conflict. So think about a dispute you had with someone in your family when you were, say, in middle school. How did that conversation go? And that has impacted the way that we communicate because of our comfort level with conflict, but also with one another. So naturally, your conflict style also correlates with how direct and indirect your communication style is. That conflict style we discussed earlier, and it may have been influenced by your family or your culture. For example, discussions communication style matches well with people who are competitive, those that like to engage often choose to collaborate when possible, dynamic communicators tend to compromise or negotiate, and accommodation communicators, well, accommodate or avoid when in conflict. Power dynamics influence our communication style too, and the more perceived power one has, the more direct they tend to be. And with cultural norms and social identities, they play a large role in perceived power, and thus communication styles are formed with that influence. Our prior experience with conflicts and their outcome will influence our communication style as well. Because think about it, if we find ourselves often successful resolving conflict with one communication style, we will continue to use that style even in situations that escalate because it's because the one that we've become comfortable with. In a US context, whether we like it or not, we are raised in a society that constructs boxes around gender roles, and the influences from media and teachers, supervisors, family, and especially friends on how we should talk based on our perceived gender permeate our communication style long after our adolescence. Of course, these gender boxes and gender expectations only allow for a gender binary, which is a man or a woman. So if you're outside of that binary, that can influence your communication style as well. Different environments have different communication expectations. So people often speak differently at home or among friends than they might at work or school. And this can be particularly difficult for people whose home culture is very different than the dominant culture that they exist in outside of their home and requires them to code switch in certain environments. How comfortable we are recognizing how we feel in certain situations, but also the emotions that are being expressed by others can influence our communication style. And this is particularly important during our formative years and with our capacity for relationship building. So think about the influences on your cultural communication style. Which influences are most salient for you? And then consider what styles you have trouble communicating with and which ones have difficulty communicating with you. A lot of conflict management deals with communication. So, understanding how we communicate and that others communicate differently can help develop acceptance and patience during difficult times. Thank you for exploring the cultural communication styles video with us today. Hopefully, you've learned a little bit more about how you communicate and, as importantly, how others communicate too. Some information was adapted from the Intercultural Conflict Style Inventory and the ICS Interpretive Guide.